Hey, thanks for joining the channel. It's Charlie, and we're going to talk about the 83 CR250 today. Two bikes here. One is pretty much all original. Did some minor changes to it, and this bike is just going to be for display in my showroom, my garage. And then this bike I race in GP3 class, which is 81 to 83 class, non-disc brake obviously, and I race open class, so I race this in the 480. And this bike has been absolutely amazing to ride. I'll go through a little bit of the build. PGD Designs built the bike. Paul actually raced this before I bought it. And then I bought it from him. He went on to a different bike to race in a different year. But he did an amazing job with this bike. I added some basic things like a different triple trees and things like that, just to get a little bit better geometry, to get the bars out more. I just feel a little bit better. Instead of being an end, there's just a little bit more out. And I just like that feel a little bit more. It just feels like it handles, and it just handles a lot better, I think. Before I felt a little tight on the bike. The suspension, we actually did gold valves. Stillwell Performance in Scottsdale, Arizona actually did the forks, and they feel really, really good. They've actually done a lot of my older Evo bikes and have been on point with everything. So we generally run Racetech gold valves if we can with these, and they feel a lot better, a lot better. So I'm about 195 pounds. And if you call those guys, I'm sure they could tell you the little tricks of the trade for my weight and what we're doing for racing. We're running an Ohlins rear. The Ohlins feels great as well. It took a little bit to dial in. It was a little stiff and choppy in the back, but we got the sag and everything right, and now it's a lot more plush. And you could triple jump these bikes and they feel great. The brakes on these bikes being drum, if you go on to like my KTM or any KTMs and then jump onto this bike, you're gonna overshoot, you know, any of the turns. It's just, they don't stop like the modern bikes. Even like my 86 CR250 and 500 that I race, these things are just, you don't stop well. So just be cognizant of that. You use a lot more rear brake with this bike too. I'm not a big rear brake guy when racing or riding, but with these, you have to. I mean, you're using all the front brake you can, plus the back brake to try and stop these in turns. But man, these things move. I bet you between the 86 CR250 and this bike, which the 86 CR250 is pretty fast, I think my lap times would be within a couple seconds of each other. And so one of these future videos will definitely compare this bike to the 86 and see which is faster. I think they're gonna be pretty close. I think you're gonna be pretty surprised. But left side kick, which is, you know, I'm left-handed. It still is even weird for me being lefty kicking on the left, but these kick over pretty easy if you find top dead center. There are some cold mornings at the track where I have to have my friend Scott Mooney jump on the bike and kick it for me, just because he has that natural technique to find top dead center all the time. I'm not as consistent as him. We did decide to put on a Lectron carb on it. It just runs a lot better in different altitudes depending on where we're racing. So if you go to Colorado and then back to Arizona or California, you never have to touch the carb. It's just perfect every point. So it's amazing how cool this bike runs. There's a couple videos already on my channel for 2021 for me racing the bike, so you'll see it in action. And just an overall great bike. Factory Edge built the motor, stock motor build. He just went through it, made sure it was in good running order to race. And then we did vapor blast and everything, and we ran this one just all sort of silver, all the natural color. And I actually like it. It's a little bit different. If you notice too, the plastic is red. The true plastic color is orange for 83, but Paul found red plastic, so we're running all the red plastic. What else can I tell you about the bike? The tank, this tank, when I bought this bike, the tank was cracked. So I actually found this tank on eBay for like $250. and it was a mess. And I probably have, between me and a couple of my guys at my office when we're slow, we probably have 25 hours into this tank in making it look this good. It takes a while to get tanks redone, but it's worth it. There's another gentleman in Mesa that does tanks. I forget his name. He charges probably 200 bucks or so. And sometimes when we do tanks, we really wish we just dropped them off to him, even though it takes a couple months to get them back. But I could do a video even on how to do tanks. The tank process I have down pretty good now, where they look amazing. So maybe we'll do a video on that too. Some little tricks of the trade to making these look perfect. Yeah, that's about it, you guys. If you have any questions, comment below. If you have any comments on racing these, let me know. I'm a big proponent of racing the Evo classes. It's a blast to ride, especially as you get older. Even though I'm in the open class, we have some of the fathers, sons that are 17 years old that we're racing against. It's still not as crazy competitive as racing the newer bikes in motocross. So hope you join us out there, and we'll see you soon.